the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, including political betting, Bitcoin, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Another crazy day. The invasion continued on Market Mania. We will open the mailbag today. Amazon has earnings. That used to be big news every time it happens before this latest fuckery started. Elon grills Vlad, the Robinhood CEO. SLV, wonder what's happening there. You know, Tony, the producer, is going to be on that. But the war goes on. Matt Glantz, were you able to place orders this morning? What's happening with GameStop? Where's AMC? What's WallStreetBets talking about?
Well, I don't trade on Robinhood, so I don't have those kind of issues. But Interactive Brokers is the best. They never go down. You can trade whatever you want on there. Although they did limit trading in GameStop and AMC on Friday, so that was the first for that. But other than that, my systems are going well.
All right. Fun doing all right today? You printing in an environment like this?
We are having a print day. It's going to be a siren day on the TikTok. It's going to be a big day alert. I can see it already.
Famous last words.
GameStop 271 down 53, opened about flat, restrictions everywhere. One share available on Robinhood. I actually bought my one share on Robinhood as a protest share. Figure if they're fine, fuck it, one. Max Payne, bitch. Max Payne, Vlad. All right. GameStop 270. I mean, Brett, what do you think? All the boys are still restricted on the cuck brokerages. So, I mean, what happened?
I mean, I don't see how they could possibly still be restricted on these stocks. I feel you've had plenty of time to sort out the financial situation and let people trade the stocks they want to play the way they want to trade it. Yeah, it's a joke.
One share.
So I closed my Robinhood. I signed up for Webull. So I'm going to switch there. But there's a lot of other options out there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to buy one share of GameStop just at whatever price and just hold it as a very slight protest to the system.
Matt, GameStop, AMC, $14, was up big early, was up 16 or so to open, now 14. What do you think? Is it over? I mean, restrictions really work? I mean, are you not allowed to value AMC at like $3 billion? Is that illegal? Like,
I mean,
what's going on?
For the long term, I'd much rather own AMC than GME. I'm not sure I'd like to own either of them. I am long AMC right now, but that's a very short-term trade. I have nothing in GameStop. But with Robinhood, it's as much as it's a risk problem, it's a self-preservation move by them to limit the stock trading. It's really a business plan problem because what they're doing is they're opening up millions of new accounts each day. They're pushing people towards margin. Because of the hype that's going on in the market, they have such a concentrated risk in GameStop and AMC and these other stocks that they have all these guys on margin. So they know that if this stock, say 30% of their clients are in GameStop and they're buying it on margin, and if this stock gaps down 80% tomorrow, they're going to be left holding the bag. They're not going to be able to collect that money that people owe them. People aren't just going to put $2,000 account, buy $4,000 worth of GameStop, lose $3,000, so they owe Robinhood $1,000. They're not going to just send them a check for $1,000. They're going to have to go into collection, and Robinhood's going to be holding the bag. So the more that the concentrations in certain high volatility stocks, the more risk Robinhood has, and it's really a risk of ruin.
So as I understand this, first of all, that's perfectly reasonable if that really was the case. And I mean, but if they go to just cash only, they went to cash only, but you can still only buy one share. You show up with $2,600, you can buy one share, not 10.
Right, but that's why they initially shut it down, is because everyone was on margin. Here's the problem. If you go to a normal brokerage like Interactive Brokers or some other reputable place, they're not going to push you to open a margin account. They're going to, you're going to have to answer a questionnaire. You're going to have to basically prove to them it's not hard, but you have to prove to them that you want to open a margin account. Most people don't even know what a margin account is when they open their brokerage account. But Robinhood has a way of pushing people to open a margin account.
But if you have degens, okay, but if you have degens and you make them cash only, then they can buy however many shares of GameStop they want, cash only.
Yeah,
Why is that wrong?
That would look really bad for them because that would kind of admit what they did wrong with their business plan, right? By pushing people to margin. They push people to margin because they make more money on margin accounts because they carry the interest each day.
Margin. If you got margin off on Robinhood, you can only buy one share. You cannot buy 100 shares. You cannot put in 30.
Matt's saying they don't want to separate the margin people from the cash people and say like the margin people are going to lose at a much higher rate and they're much riskier customer profile, which is true.
They don't really make much money off of cash accounts. They make all their money off of margin accounts.
Honestly, I don't quite understand this fuckery. I know DTCC had something to do with it. Citadel had something to do with it. I'm at the point where you could just easily QAnon style radicalize me and just
I got to stop this because you see it in social media. It's all over the place. It's not a conspiracy. They weren't trying to save the hedge funds. They weren't trying to help Citadel. They were trying to save themselves. It's their own
clearinghouse. It said that the shorts. It said that the problem was the shorts that they had.
Listen to me, Mike. It was
outside shorts.
It's Robinhood's own fault. Their risk measures were not correct. They didn't see this coming. They put themselves at too much risk, so they had to shut it down, or else they had a risk of ruin. If GameStop opened down 80% the next day, which could have easily happened, right? We all know
hate that. I hate Robinhood. I should be hating Robinhood.
Yeah.
Fuck Vlad.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, they could have raised more capital. I feel like they could have handled that risk with capital. They're one of the hottest companies on the planet.
You can hate Robinhood for fucking up, but it's not a conspiracy. They weren't trying to save the hedge funds. I promise you.
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy. They're not trying to save the hedgies. The hedgies just got lucky here.
The truth is they just needed to save themselves. It was all to save themselves from ruining their entire existence. Their IPO would go up in flames. They would go broke.
It was Deep fucking Value, who is really the Robinhood CEO. I've seen the pictures. He just takes the headband off and then he goes right into the office. All right. And then it's all fucking connected. And it comes back to Silver, Tony, the producer. They were going to pump Silver. You were smiling ear to ear. You're swimming like Scrooge McDuck in your silver bars that you got out there buried on the farm. And then now they cucked it again like they always do. And they said no.
Tony, is that your silver mining gear that you're wearing, or is that just your normal gear?
This is my normal gear.
Okay.
Dude, you know how cold it is out there?
It's cold up here in Fargo, baby. I mean, outer space. That's where I'm at. But look,
space.
Same thing.
Look,
vacuum.
I was so heartbroken to see WallStreetBets pull back on that silver short squeeze. I thought we'd finally arrived. I'm telling you, GME is the battle, but silver and crypto is the war. Silver is real money, and how do you beat fake money with real money? But the other thing we got to keep in mind is that actual physical silver you can't even find on the shelves Monday morning. It was selling out. The premiums are through the roof. It's super scarce. Of course, SLV reflected that. But, like I said last week, the problem with SLV is they can just continue to print new paper contracts on top of actual physical silver. So they can manipulate the price of SLV up and down they want. Although I got to say, Brett, 2 weeks ago, I want to say I called for an SLV short for that very reason, because they can just print paper contracts. And I think my numbers will get crushed. I think you're going to surpass me now because I called for that SLV short. I wasn't counting on the short squeeze here. So, but what I wanted to point out too is very interesting. This is the WallStreetBets narrative that's forming. There is no silver short squeeze happening, none ever. And they link to this Michael Burry tweet, which is now no longer there. I don't understand that at all.
He deletes his tweets like daily or something. He'll only have like one or two up at a time on his account.
Okay, well that makes sense.
There's a service to do that. It actually kind of does make sense.
Well, his whole thesis was that the government changed the rules last time they tried to squeeze silver, and that screwed everybody. Well, if your argument is that the reason not to buy silver is because the government's going to change the rules, I'm going to tell you, just buy physical silver, put it in your sock drawer, and leave it there. This is the most important squeeze in history. Let's not mess this up, Wall Street Bets. Get your shit together. Weaponize that autism. Let's take down JP Morgan. Let's take down the central banks. Squeeze silver. God. Anyway,
all right, you heard it
here
first from our metals market maniac over there, the resident Tony, the producer. Always long, physical metals. Gotta love them. It takes all kinds on Market Mania. So we have Elon grilling the Robinhood CEO, not necessarily deep fucking value also, but just saying, I've never seen him in the same room. Brett, what happened here?
So Clubhouse, which I got on yesterday, Elon was like the siren call to get me on the platform. I'm sure a ton of other people joined to listen to this. And it was a long time of just Elon chatting with some guys. And then at the very end, he brings out Vlad to, kind of grill him on what happened. He said, spill the beans, man. Like, what the hell happened? And we already kind of covered this, but Vlad essentially said we needed the capital requirements and we didn't have it. I don't think Vlad is necessary. He's no Elon, right? He's not a very charismatic CEO. If I were the board, I might just kind of try and have him focus on, whatever quant type stuff.
Nerd. He's
good at
nerd shit.
So, but again, like, I still don't get it. It is Roblox, Coinbase, Robinhood. You're one of the 3 hottest companies for IPO this year. Even the $3 billion that they threw out initially, if it's like such a good scenario, like they negotiated them down to like 700 million, but I feel like Robinhood could have come up with this cash to cover whatever the potential losses were with GameStop to let people trade freely. I feel like it's still a huge misstep. It's still restricted today. I don't get it.
It makes no sense.
Come up with that cash. It's not that easy. When you have margin requirements that you're being pushed to, it's very much harder to come up with the cash than in normal times. When people say why you need the cash, and you say because we have risk measures, we don't have the margin requirements up to our risk. That's a problem. So that's
sure, but bankroll not on swole.
So they raised 1 billion. They supposedly needed 3 to have it like all open. I don't know. To be a couple billion for a Robinhood, it's going to be 100 billion in the IPO.
A week before this happened, if they tried to raise 3 billion, it would be a breeze. It would be easy. They could just sell stock, sell private stock, sell piece of the IPO. They could raise 3 billion in a day. It would be easy. But once you got margin calls, once you have risk problems, it's not easy to raise money.
I feel it's still easy, especially in this environment. I could be wrong, obviously, but even then, the problem that they have is faced on a ton of new retail fish joining their platform. It's like, hey, we're having these margin requirements because our user base, our valuable user base, is increasing so fast and exhibiting like really negative EV long-term behavior. So I just feel like
I don't even know if that's true. I mean, there's a small paradigm shift here where
buying options in general,
a single billionaire could be an activist investor. Now you have a multi-million strong hive mind, if you will, that's an activist investor.
They're not.
It really does act as an activist investor. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's, maybe it's not minus EV for the whole world to rise up and just melt shorts and then prop up companies that they like and that are ethical. I mean, man,
the net balance of accounts that joined last week on Robinhood is 100% going to be losing in the long term.
Anyway, the main point here is, guys,
that
Vlad is a nerd. He's a stupid nerd.
He's
not likable. He might be He might be very intelligent. I'm sure he is. But they need a new face of the company. He's got to step down from that role as being the face of the company. It's no good for them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Amazon,
we are going into earnings season. I mean, it is. It's earnings season, and I mean, we just kind of missed it because Tesla earnings didn't seem to make the news last week. That's crazy.
It's amazing.
But Matt, what do you see here? What do you see here for one of the largest companies in the world?
We went from ape season to earnings season. You wouldn't even have known it because of GameStop and AMC and silver. So tomorrow is Amazon and Google earnings. Last week was Tesla. Like Mike said, that this should be the complete focus of the stock market on CNBC and all over media at all other times of the year, but it's just so overshadowed. So we can't sleep on the Amazon earnings for tomorrow. So They're expecting to make the street estimates, I think, are $16 a share or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Let me think. That might be Google. I think Amazon is $7 a share, but the stock's a lot higher, so it's very similar. But they're expecting revenue of 120 billion for the quarter. 120 billion. That's after last fourth quarter last year was 88 billion. It's a huge increase. And we all know
Amazon, Democratic governors get a cut for shutting down all those businesses.
We all know Amazon stock really hasn't moved for the last 6 months. That's the crazy part. It's been between 31 and 3,400 for months. It's right on the 200-day moving average, which I don't look at charts, but that just shows you it's just stuck there. So I really think it's pent up, and we're going to see a move one way or the other after these earnings. If I had to guess, I would say up, because I don't see how Amazon's going to do anything but good. What do you guys think about where we're going to be? All anybody cares about is the stock price, right? We don't really care about earnings per share. We don't care about revenue. Where's the stock price going, Brett?
Yeah, you make sense, man. I could see this thing popping off, man. Why not 4,000? I know you hate buying calls. Can I get some way out of the money calls on extreme upside here? What kind of vig am I paying for that if I do that? How much do you think I'm losing on average if I buy, like, say, a $4,000 call? I don't even know if those exist.
Very little for earnings. The Amazon implied vol is very cheap. It's normally probably in the 30s or 40s. When right now for earnings it's probably around 60. So you're really not paying that much.
It seems like
I think the options will expect like a 6% move in the stock or something like that for earnings. So if you think there's going to be a 10% move in the stock, you can win by buying options.
And, of course, he's predicting a 20% move in the stock. The Amazon 4,000 calls are about $330. And taking that money to the Aria craps table seems like a better idea to me if I had to choose one of them. Tony, open up the Market Mania mailbag and tell us what kind of questions the Pez have for us today.
There was one in chat I wanted to run by you quick, Mike on. It was...
hold on, Tony, before you get into that, breaking news alert. Robinhood just announced they raised $3.4 billion in funding to invest in record customer growth. So they came up with $3.4 billion since Friday.
Brett, they listen to you.
Yeah. Move over, Vlad.
That's why he's the CEO.
You need the new face. Let's go.
There you go, Brett.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what he just said. He said, of course they could find a couple of billion. You're right. Brett was right. Live on show. Mark that shit up, Jax.
Yeah.
All right, Mike Con. Here's where you were right. We got a question from Street Beef. How did you know BitPay was good and Butterfly Tech was a scam?
Butterfly Labs, Josh Zerlin, that old scumbag, and the guy that started it too. So when Butterfly Labs printed up foam pitchforks to harmed customers, to harmed pre-order customers, as they mined their machines before sending them, that really clued it into me, a company that actually printed up pitchforks because so many customers were mad at them, so they thought we'd make fun of them by spending money and a little bit of effort. That one really did it for me. Also, my interaction with him, you can find it on YouTube on the CES 2012 floor, where I asked him what the box of fans he brought was, and he didn't have a good, and he told me, he actually gave me a quarter and told me to go buy a clue. So with that kind of outward-facing marketing, I just pretty much assumed the inside was rotten also, and it was. And BitPay, Tony Gillespie or so, I remember meeting him about the same time, 2012, and like nice guy, like stand-up guy, like seemed to just be like one of those honest guys. When you've been in Vegas as long as I was, you just kind of learn to read people. You kind of know, you kind of get that scumbaggy feeling right away, and then a couple yellow flags kind of confirm it. And then the other times it's just like all green. So, that's kind of how I know.
Got another question there, Tony?
Yeah. Well, let's see. We had one. Somebody wants to talk about CCIV.
You have the question?
Too late for CCIV or CVIV right now, Matt. Asking if it's too late.
I think that was the question. Okay, the question from Scott on Twitter was, wouldn't CCIV shift to a long-term hold if the merger happens? And is Lucid really this great holy grail EV company, as Matt says? So, you guys know I've been talking about this for about a month since the stock was 17 or 18. It's now 24 and a half today. It's up like 30 some percent. There's still no deal announced. It's all depending on the deal. This stock is going to get crushed if there's no deal, but I have all my marbles in it. It's my biggest position in the fund. It's my biggest position in my IRA. I love the chances for CCIV to merge with Lucid. So the question is, once they merge, if they merge, is it a long-term hold? I don't know about it being a long-term hold. My bet is that it will merge. So my bet is basically to bet on the stock now at 24 and a half and kind of reevaluate when the merger happens. Because I really do believe the stock's going to be over 40 when they merge, because Lucid to me is the holy grail of all EV stocks, and all these other shitty EV stock companies that merged with recently have been crushing. Their stock prices have been crushing, and this is the biggest legitimate luxury brand competitor to Tesla. And I love Tesla.
So what time frame? I got this question too from Paper Hands Miller out there, and he asked what time frame for CIV. He's trying to play February 19s, or he's thinking about March, or he's thinking about April. So
I mean, you could play February 19 calls and then roll them out to March if it doesn't happen by February 19th. But who knows? I think Lucid knows their value. They're not stupid. Their guy that runs that place was the guy was Elon Musk's guy at Tesla that sort of was like head of the design team for the Model S. So this guy's sharp and he knows their value. So he's probably just trying to get as much money out of CCIV as he can.
All right, CCIV, that's the play. Diamond Hands Re-Raise asked me, what about this GoPro play? That's popping today. I didn't check it yet. And thanks for coming, GoPro. Look at this move, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, green dildo today in that one, huh?
Giant green dildo, 17% up, $1.53 to $10.49 last tick. I have no clue. I'm looking around. There's no news that I can see. I packed a bag of GoPro last week just thinking it might be the next, stock everybody had heard of with the ticker
nice
that you know.
ball.
And I don't know if that's it, if it's in play. I didn't see anything on WallStreetBets or anything on Twitter, but there's a big green dildo for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice call, Micah.
And remember, we don't tell you when to sell. Not what we do here. Don't tell you when to sell. That's, just not our business. But what our business is, if the mailbag is closed, then our business quickly becomes the Market Mania pick of the day. This is not investment advice. Do your own research. Matt Glantz, what is your Market Mania pick of the day?
All right. Well, I can't pick CCIV for the third pick of the day. I can't just pick it every day. So I'm going to go with Google. Tomorrow night is earnings for Google. Google's pretty cheap on PA and all the old school methods. I think there's very little downside to owning Google for earnings, and there's a lot of upside. So I like Google. It's $18.96. Let's go long it for a couple of days.
All right, long Google. Brett Ritchie, what is your pick of the day?
I'm staying in the crypto world, and I'm kind of seeing if I can ride some of this NFT hype with Decentraland. Mana is about 15 cents now. And I like 2/3 of the tokens are already out. So the market cap you see is relatively close to where the total market cap is. Sometimes crypto projects, only 7% is out in the public. So they can really kind of sneak attack you and dump a lot of the reserves on you. That can't happen here. And it's kind of one of the OG NFT platforms. And I think it's a reasonable, it's like a low conviction play, to be fair. But there's worse things.
I like Decentraland. Decentraland exists. You can go there. You can grab your MetaMask. You can make a character. You can run around the world. There's some light gambling that's already taking place in Decentraland. I mean, that's absolutely, you can buy land. You can make.
There's going to be huge winners in this space. I have no idea whether or not it's going to be them. I've never used it.
Decentraland has a shot. I mean, no, I would encourage people to go fuck around there. Just like before you buy a token, if you are going to ape in, I would always suggest, go and use the product. Like how ridiculous is it to even have to say that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Glantz. Listen, my pick of the day is Bitcoin. And I don't even think I listed enough here because you have all of Wall Street try to fuck the little guy once again. And then some of these kids are even they're finding crypto works how they think it should. The shorts get liquidated when they, real time. What, Matt? I got fucking Bitcoin on my goddamn shoes, motherfucker.
Oh, those are sweet. Those are sweet. I gotta give you credit
You're
for
right.
that.
You're right. These are amazing. I got another pair on the way. That's how it works. Market Mania, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin, in case the financial system collapses, just in case Bitcoin doesn't move with the SPY like it did during the Rona crash of last year, that is going to do it. Will they be decoupled? Also something we don't tell you on Market Mania. We do not know if crypto assets and traditional stock market will decouple the next time one of them sends one way. But what we do know is that some of the modern poets of our time, it's good to listen to them before you sign off. And this one comes from my man, Whitey Cracker, and the Neils album. You should listen to the entire Nerdcore opera. But this is from San Sequestro. It goes something like this. San Sequestro, where the dregs and best go to seek fortunes in escrow. Most rob, cheat, and steal for their nest, though. The rest process the echo. Like and subscribe right here on YouTube. Hit us up on the Twitter, Market Mania Show, or on TikTok at Market Mania Show, too. Get us on TikTok. Be careful with the markets out there. This is unprecedented shit. We will see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
This song goes out to that big old gigantic naked short out there. You know who you are. It's kind of lonely at the top, ain't it? I thought I heard the people say, pay me my silver now. Tomorrow's another trading day. But pay me my silver now. Watching the comics prices rise. Pay me my silver now. JP Morgan naked shorts the highs. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. CFTC, you better shut it down. Pay me my silver now. There's people rising up in every town. Pay me my silver now. The Gatta boys are in the know. Pay me my silver now. Tinfoil hats at the silver show. Pay me my silver now. Pay me.